Hi there, my name's Joe, and we're going to be playing Octopath Traveler. Eventually. It's a very interesting game. I've played a little bit of it. I picked it up last week just before I went on holiday, actually, and I had a few long train journeys, so it seemed like a good idea to get a classic style JRPG to sink my teeth into, and I lucked out on this. Really enjoyed it. Probably played first sort of 10 hours or so. It's a very interesting concept, actually, so let's get in here straight into a new game. And as you can see, we can one of 8 characters to with here. And the game is split into chapters. Yeah, there's a bit of a character bio there. I'm not going to show those at the beginning, actually, except for the one who we're going to start with. Because how it works is it is split into chapters by each character. So, I can show you. So this is who we're going to start with. We're going to start with Cyrus, who is a scholar. And you've got a path action and a talent you can see up the top there. The path action is Scrutinize, which is an ability we can use with NPCs and characters in towns, and a talent, Study Foe, which we can use during battle, which I'll explain a little bit more about those as we get into it. But as for Cyrus himself, your name is you are a scholar. You teach at the Royal Academy in Atlastan, and then you have numerous admirers. Your only true passion is the pursuit of knowledge. There is so much more I would learn. One day you realize that an invaluable tool is vanished from the Royal Library, piquing your insatiable curiosity. So that was Cyrus, and we begin his story in Atlastan, and it will continue on, and we will have other characters, which they do in a very interesting way, and it's new ways of telling stories, and this is definitely a very new way. So once we get a bit more into it, I don't want to give too much away. I haven't made it out of chapter 1, so I haven't gone that far, but I got an okay understanding of how the battle systems work, so I should be able to explain early on. But there's still a lot for me to learn, so we can still learn as we go through. So let's get straight in here. Let's begin our adventure. A world of knowledge awaits. A world of knowledge awaits. Yes, it does. Kind of partially voiced, which you'll see, which is very nice, and other parts that are interesting I'll read out.
And was that Atlastan was founded some 2 centuries ago. Indeed, our fair state is among the longest standing on the continent of Austera. But there was another city-state with a as long and proud as our that came to a tragic ruin only 8 short years ago. Now, who can tell me its name? How about you, Therese?
I think it was...
Now, no need to get all flustered. There's no shame in not knowing an answer, so long as you have a desire to learn. The answer is in your text. Go on now, look it up.
Yes, Professor. Let's see. I believe it was Hornburg.
That is correct. Hornburg was ruled over by a royal family, descended from priests of an ancient and long-forgotten religion. On the other hand, our fair Atlastan was founded by one of the original clans that inhabited the flatlands. Who can tell me how many clans lived in this at the time? Your Highness?
The histories have it that 8 clans did live in the flatlands in those days.
Correct you are, Your Highness. It was a time of great strife here in Flatlands as the 8 clans waged a long, bitter war. It would come when the armies of Port invaded these lands some 2 centuries ago. At the time, the rulers of Granth sought to exert their influence over territories inland. Ironically, this compelled the warring tribes to put aside their differences and unite against their common foe. Oh, but look at the time. We'll pick up where we left off next time. Don't forget to read chapters 3 and 4 before our next lecture. And be prepared to answer questions on any of the material within.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you for another stimulating lecture, Professor Albright.
Hello?
Ah, Professor Albright. Mercedes from the Royal Library came by with a message for you. Message for you, sir. Seems today's your lucky day. You've been granted permission to enter the Special Archives.
Splendid!
Finally, I can begin my research. The library's just outside the palace. I'd best make haste. So that's how I'm going to do this when I won't be talking. Okay, so of the radar, there's radar in the bottom right. The green things are to continue the story. Orange is side quest, and feather is a save point, and then hidden, and other exits to neighbouring areas. So pretty straightforward there. So doesn't it look absolutely beautiful? I think they did a great job, sort of slightly modernising their old classic RPG style, and it looks glorious. Wait till you see some of the latest as well. This is fantastic. I love how the rooms fade in and out. I guess this is what you call two and a half dimensions.
Greetings.
Not sure, really. His Majesty possesses a unique understanding of the scholarly pursuits.
Not bad, eh?
He founded the Royal Academy, where nobles and commoners are like candelabra. That sounds like good going. Ahead lies the audience chamber. If you would seek His Majesty's counsel, pray proceed. Okay. So it's only the ones with the speech bubbles above the heads that we can actually speak to. And it's an interesting way to do it because, if you had to have all of them saying something, so many of them would just say rubbish. It's like, well, why bother? It's a good way to go, I think. Professor?
Professor Albright.
Oh, thank heavens you're still here. I thought I had missed you.
Your Highness.
What can I do for you?
The truth of the matter is,
If you consider the time, I had a question about something we learned today.
But of course!
Your Highness, it would be my pleasure to answer anything. After all, my role as your tutor is as important to me as any of my research. Unfortunately, I cannot spare much time. Is the question a quick one?
indeed.
It will not take long. I was just wondering about the ancient religion of Hornburg. Pray tell, what did they worship?
Very astute of you.
Your Highness. However, I fear that nearly all the texts detailing the nature of the religion burned and lost when Hornburg fell. Shame that.
The truth is...
I do, however, have a theory of my own. I believe that the royal family of Hornburg were guardians of an ancient power. Mind you, this is not an idle speculation. My theory is based on the fact that... Yep, everyone's got hots for teacher. Let us continue this discussion another time. My apologies for keeping you, Professor.
With pleasure.
And it would... Oh, yes, there you go. He said it. That such questions occur to side of a sharp and curious mind.
Why, thank you.
Your lectures on the history of the realm are most fascinating to me. For if I do not learn of our past, how can I hope to lead my people to a bright future?
Indeed.
The people of this land are truly fortunate to be led by one with such wisdom and kindness. As I am truly fortunate to have the opportunity to serve in some small way. You're far too kind, Professor Albright. I am proud to be your student.
Ah,
I'm running late.
good day.
Pray do not forget your assignment, Your Highness.
Farewell.
Ah, Therese. Yes, do you have a question for me?
No.
Good day, Professor. Ah, she's a bit shy. And old Cyrus here is a bit oblivious, as you might have been able to tell. Alright, let's have a look at some. Oh, so here's the menu. Very nice looking menu as well. Very important, I think. So there we go. Fast travel. Transport yourself instantly to any town you visited before. You can only travel to cities, towns, and villages. There we go. Pretty standard. Beautiful, isn't it? So here you can see we'd started. The other characters were sort of dotted around. So how it's going to work is we'll complete chapter 1 for Cyrus here, and then we'll move around this way, and we'll pick up. Only got to the 7th character I picked up was around here somewhere. Only on chapter 1, so just characters. So that's all I really done. So that's what I want to try and look at some of these settings. That's some of the voice.
Octopath, Traveller.
Excellent. Yeah, let's do it like that. I think. I'm going to try and see if I can turn the click off when I'm advancing the dialogue. I don't think I can. Okay. So we'll just have to deal with that, I'm afraid. So there's pretty standard. We've got a journal, so we can see all their different characters there, or their names anyway, and that kind of just shows what's going on in their stories. Inventory. Start with some pretty standard items. HP, heals SP we have in this game, not MP. SP is special points. You can do special skills that are not just melee attacking. That revives someone with a bit of health, and this is our equipment. We can use staff. You can see those are the different types that can be used, but Cyrus here can only use staves, and shields, head, body, and 2 accessory slots. So all pretty standard. I really like that not all characters can use all types of weapons. It really makes it more diverse. Otherwise, you just have a load of clones, you know. So there'll be more to that as we go on. So let's, I don't know if you spotted those, but I certainly did. Some classic treasure chests, which we have here. So what do we got? Healing Grape, Spiriting Plum, and a Herb of Awakening. I think the Herb of Awakening is a status. Yeah, sleeping. Yeah. That makes sense. Did we speak to you?
Hello?
No, we did we? Hello, this is the Royal Palace of Uptown. Leave the palace and head east and you'll find the Royal Academy. The library lies to the west. That's where we're headed. Another one over here. What's this one? Thunder Soulstone. That's a attack item with an elemental, thunder tool, that you can use in battle. What do you want? I don't have anything here for you. Honestly, I don't. Suspicious. Let's see you later, sunshine. So let's go to the library. I will speak to all NPCs as we go through.
Hello.
Because I like them. The palace gate lies just to the north. To the east, you'll find the Royal Academy, where the realm's most promising thinkers receive their education. Okay, then. So you can see the radar on the map there. This is a save point, and the other things are buildings and places you can go.
Hello.
Hello. Just south here lies the castle town. It's a lively place. I'm sure it is. Just move on to our destination. Russell just isn't cut out for that sort of work. Whatever was he? Move along now. Russell, huh? Okay.
It's me, Cyrus.
Mercedes, Cyrus Albright, here to browse the special archives. Is that George Washington down there in the bottom right? Oh, Professor Albright, you're looking quite eager today. When I heard that an original copy of the Church of the Complete History had been donated to our archives, I simply had to be the first to see it.
I see.
You're more on top of our collection than I am. Just sign here.
With pleasure.
There's something amiss.
Actually,
Known as the most brilliant mind in the Royal Academy. When you're out books, you're as giddy as a schoolboy. When you put it that way, yes. Much as a child is fascinated by a new toy, I am titillated by the prospect of acquiring new knowledge.
I see.
The expression on your face says it all. Anyway, everything seems to be in order. Enjoy your quest for knowledge, Professor.
Many thanks.
My dear, I'm most well.
What have we here?
The tome is nowhere to be found. Did someone return it to the wrong shelf? Not here either.
An interesting dilemma.
These archives are strictly guarded and curated. Wherever could it have gone?
Professor Albright!
The headmaster would see you at once. The times. Ah well, might I ask you for a favour? What might that be?
The truth is...
The tome I mentioned before seems to have gone missing. Did for me?
I see.
Missing? Begin looking at once, Professor.
Many thanks. Cyrus Albright, by your request, sir.
Do enter. My apologies for summoning you on such short notice.
How might I be of assistance, Headmaster?
That treatise on arcane studies you published. What in the gods' names were you thinking?
Sir? I do believe I made my hypothesis perfectly clear.
I'm not talking about your hypothesis. You went out of your way to cite one of the texts in our spiritual archives. The knowledge housed in those tomes is the Royal Academy's greatest treasure. It is not to be divulged to the public at your whim. Laying it bare in one of your silly papers is out of the question.
I am fully aware of the value of those tomes, Headmaster. It is for that very reason I would share the knowledge with my peers.
You are to share nothing! That wisdom is for the Academy and the Academy...
But that goes against everything...
Enough, Cyrus!
Even my best argument is sure to fall on deaf ears. The Headmaster sees knowledge as a medal or precious boon, something to be appreciated by its rightful owner alone. Knowledge is power, and power is to be hoarded. An unfortunate attitude, indeed. My sincere apologies, Headmaster. It won't happen again. Is there anything else you need of me?
That is all. You may go. Wait, there was one last thing.
Sir?
I heard the special archives will be closing early today. If you have research to do there, I would do so quickly.
Good gods. It's as if he enjoys watching run. Thank you for your concern, Headmaster. In that case, I'll be on my...
See that portrait of himself on the wall?
Enter.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What's the matter?
What is it, Therese? It's about Professor Albright, sir. Make for the library. I love this music. It's really good. You wait to hear some of the other music.
Hello
Read.
there.
This is the Royal Academy, Atlas Dam's pride and joy.
Sure is rain.
All are welcome to engage in the pursuit of knowledge here. Oh, what's that down there? Okay, so we've got to head for the library again, so why don't we do that? Get our research done before we turn in for the day.
Can I help you?
Ah, Professor Albright.
A moment of your time.
Did you have any luck finding the tome?
My apologies.
Say it is not so.
Well, this is most unfortunate. One might conclude that it had been stolen.
Actually,
Professor, taking books out from these archives is strictly forbidden. And as you know, the keys to the vault are entrusted to only a select few. Quite honestly, it'd be easier to steal the crown off the king's head.
Aho!
An incredible vault, a disappearing tome. It would seem we have quite the mystery on our hands. And the mysteries of the world are meant to be solved. Or so the scholar in me says. I don't agree. If it hadn't stolen, I would say it's a job for the city guard. But I can see you won't let it go until you've cracked the case, as it were.
Indeed!
Ha ha ha. You could say that indeed. I just can't seem to break. Once a puzzle is placed before me, I simply cannot rest until I've worked out a solution.
I see.
Well, far be it from me to stand in your way. Must be a genius.
Leave it to me.
I'll not deny it. Worry not. The tome will be back on the shelf before you can bat an eyelash.
Take care.
Best of luck in your search.
Time to research.
Game is afoot. Now we've got to figure out who sold the book. And where to begin my search. I suppose I should inquire with Mercedes as to where the keys to the library are stored. The guard at the front door would know who has been frequenting the library lately, as might my fellow scholars. Then mayhap I should pay the headmaster a visit as well. So these are the path actions we saw at the beginning. So Cyrus can scrutinize and glean new information from the townspeople. And each character has sort of a unique path action, and this one here is scrutinize. So you can see that it comes up as you press the Y button. It's normally A to talk, and he's talking about Russell again. But if we press Y, we can scrutinize him. Let's see now. So age 41. Of course I've got a key to the archives, and no, I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes is all. But even if I was sleeping, what did it matter? What kind of fool would bother stealing a worthless tome anyway? And then here at the bottom you can see we glean some information, the guard's situation. Yeah. He has a key, yes, yet he knows little of the true value of the books he guards. Okay. So we've got two more people inside we can talk to, so why don't we speak to them? Let's talk to the librarian first. Let's see. Age 21, testimony. Only Headmaster Yvonne and the guard stationed outside should have a key to the library archives. Okay. So we got the guard outside and the headmaster have got a key. Good. Who's this fellow? Ah, this is Russell. Oh, Cyrus, I'll trust you not to interrupt my research. Age 30. The key to the archives? Oh, I haven't got that, but I'm not surprised someone stole it considering what they're worth. I did debts myself, so I understand temptation. He knows the value of tomes and is burdened with debt to boot. Interesting. The plot. thickens. But we can also scrutinise these guys, see? Let's see now. Aha, age 39. Once in charge of protecting the king, this guard suffered a serious leg injury and was since transferred to a calmer post inside the grounds. Though the injury healed long ago, he hasn't mentioned to anyone and enjoys the serenity of his new post. Sounds like he took an arrow to the knee. And then you see at the bottom, we've got a hidden item. That's been... You see this glowing spot over here? You can also see it on the map as an exclamation point. And we get a light soul stone, which is a light elemental battle item we can use. So before we go up there, why don't we see if we can get anything else from up here? What about you, sir? Age 42. No item or individual that passes through the palace gates escapes this guard's notice. Rumour has it, however, that his dedication is not rooted in any sort of loyalty, but is rather born of the desire to perpetuate and protect his own unscrupulous business of selling trinkets to collectors of royal mementos. And we got another item, but that's down there. So you can see it up the top right there. We'll pick that up on our way back to the library. Wasn't there a kid in here who said he wasn't hiding anything? Let's see if he actually is, shall we? Let's talk to this guy first. Okay, the eldest son in a family that has served the king for generations. He takes pride in his job as a guard and would risk his life to protect the king and his palace. This loyalty has earned him the utmost trust. And another hidden item, which is just here. And we get a healing grape. The healing grapes are pretty good early on, actually. You can see we got 200 HP. Healing grapes restore like 500 a pop, so they're pretty good for a while. Let me see. Age 32. Born in the slums in the coastlands, this guard was recognised for his skill and now protects the throne room. Despite holding the same position, he is ridiculed by the other guards simply for his origins, causing tension between the two. And another hidden item. Okay, so that's side. Let's talk to this one who's been bullying him, shall we? The son of a prominent family in Atlasdam and one of the guards responsible for protecting the throne room. Rather than earning his post, however, it was granted to him as he has no merits of his own. Let's see, I bet they have a wonderful time working together. Is that one going to be up here? In here, perhaps? Yeah, there it is. Olive of Life, that revives people, I believe. There's nothing up there. Let's see if this one's upstairs. Ooh, sorry to interrupt class, just need to look under here. A small cup. Now that's there's some trash loot actually. We can see it fetches a modest price of sold. So anything that says something like that you can just sell. As far as I know, that's what I've been doing. And they all have the same icon, so I'm pretty confident they are just for money. Although some are only worth like one. What is the currency here? Whatever that symbol is. Goodness, just call it gold, shall we? Okay, here, age 9, a young boy who sneaks into the palace to steal valuables. He sells his spoils to provide a life for himself and has yet to be caught. In actuality, the queen has already noticed but has turned a blind eye to his actions. Oh, isn't that nice? What are you hiding? Buckler. Ah. So that is a shield that we can equip here. You can see at the bottom we got all of our stats. This is our physical defense and our elemental defense. Otherwise, pretty standard stuff. Physical attack, elemental attack, so it's physical and magic. Accuracy, speed, critical, evasion. Yeah, so that's a quick one. We get a slight stat boost. So this is a really nice way. Part of what made me start enjoying this game straight away was that it's worthwhile speaking to the NPCs and going around finding out what their stories are, and that there are more layers to it as well, which we'll get to as we go through. What about you, lady? There we go. Born and raised in Atlasdam, this old widow now visits this place every day in memory of her late husband. Even after she passes, she wishes to be by her husband's side, just like the relief of the king and queen in the Academy's library. Another hidden item, which is back down there, so we'll pick that up a little later on. Let's grab this one. Odds and ends, that's some more trash loot, as you can see there. It's got this, like, this symbol. Several of those when we get to a shop a little later on. Okay, so we've just got to speak to the headmaster. There's not anybody else you can speak to here, so we'll just go straight there. Just loads of loitering around. Not doing. Kind of looks like Link there, doesn't it? Can you speak to normal? What is it this time, Cyrus? I'm going to scrutinize you. It's 58. You know full well I have a key to the special archives, and I would never be so foolish as to let it fall into the wrong hands. In any event, I have had no reason to pursue those tomes in quite some time. Most intriguing. He has a key, this is true, but the dust gathered upon it suggested lately.
Splendid!
It's just that information I need to solve the case. Who possesses the key? So we know it's the headmaster and the guard who have the key.
But Ors!
It makes sense now. There are only 2 keys to the archives, one belonging to the headmaster and one to the guardsman. Whose key was used to unlock the archives? Well, the headmaster's had a lot of dust on it, it hadn't been moved for too long. And the guard seems to fall asleep at his post, so let's go guards. The headmaster is safely locked away in his office. Furthermore, he hasn't visited the archives today. On the other hand, the guard has been acting suspiciously of late, even sleeping while on active duty.
Aho!
It would be all too easy a task to lift the key off this person. Of his person. So is it possible that the guard is armed?
No.
He would have no motive. The culprit must be someone who understands the true value of the tome. Which is to say, one of my colleagues. Most likely the one who has accrued a frightful gambling debt.
Which means that...
Put it all together and our villain is... Russell.
Yes.
Indubitably, that shifty scholar Russell. Oh, Russell, what happened to you? Yes, I dare say my logic is foolproof.
Shall we begin?
Not sure that's what foolproof means, is it? Now all that remains is to find our man and make him confess to the crime. Word has it he's been doing his research underground these days. Aha.
Now then.
I think it's time I did some fieldwork of my own. Oh, there's okay, so save your progress. You never strikes me short save often. Yeah, pretty standard. So let's just grab this quickly. Spirit and Plum gets our SP back. So before we do that, we're going to head into town and do a little shopping before we go in there. I think would be wise. Patronizing of the townsfolk. I'll speak to you first.
Hello there.
Apothecary. The Royal Palace is just a ways north from here. Let's see. After the great pestilence in the Riverlands, this apothecary decided to dedicate himself to disease prevention with treatment. He now works together with the Academy and Atlastan to create both medicine and new forms of treatment. Guide with ease. So this one, the residents of this town will be more receptive to your guidance. So at the beginning here, when you first learn of path action, pretty much everyone will be 100% for everything. But once you get through there a bit further on, it's based. It's not guaranteed that you will be successful. So that increases the chances that you'll be successful in scrutinizing. Hey, look at this. I found this huge egg just laying around. Isn't it amazing? Brimming with curiosity, this young boy will go to whatever lengths necessary to sate an even if it puts me in danger. His tendencies worry those around him. The oftentimes rare and valuable items he brings back from his adventures have earned him the esteem of his friends. Smarter bartering, which better chance getting a discount when you purchase items. That's very nice.
Oh, yes!
So it's always worth doing this to NPCs before you do your shopping, really. I plan on hard on becoming a soldier. Age 10, the childhood fell a reckless boy by her side. Being the older by 2 years, she was entrusted with watching over him. Despite his endless curiosity, oftentimes putting them both in danger, she takes her role seriously and is prepared to face whatever does come her way. Okay, got another hidden item there. That's off to the left. Let's look over here. So this is an item shop. You can see the symbol here. That means item shop. We'll get there shortly. But first, speak to these guys first. And this is an inn. You can see the sign of stars just above Cyrus there.
How fare thee?
You see the library near the palace? It's full of all sorts of historical books. Libraries aren't for me. My cows are my priority. Let's see now. The thoughtful rancher delivers the fresh milk from his cows to his parents. His parents worry for his future though, as he dedicates his entire life to work alone. And for speaking to him, we get a discount at the inn. A little house we can go in here. Anybody home? No. Okay. So we'll do the provisions shortly. There's a hidden item. Another light soulstone, could be useful. So this is a pub. So a couple of people in here. Pub master is quite interesting. Tavern keeper. You can change the party here. You can look at all your equipment for your characters. I'm not sure what that is yet. We'll find out that when we go a bit forward. Restore reputation will come back to you later on as well.
That's right.
There's nothing better than seafood to go with a good drink. Even them brainy scholars will agree with me. I'm sure they will. Let's see now. Every morning this fisherman hauls his catch to the castle town of Amsterdam. He takes the leftovers to the tavern to have it cooked and enjoys the fruits of his labour alongside a few drinks. We've got another hidden item, nice.
Hello.
Oh, I see you've taken an interest in me axe. You're not like most of the scrawny weaklings around here. There's the truth. An old mercenary who spends most of his day in the tavern. He claims the liquor calms his nerves, so when summoned by his employer, reports for duty with staggering steps. Work can be pretty nerve-wracking. So we've got a couple of new items. Here, so we'll grab this empty coin pouch, more trash loot, and just sell that. Not for very much, if I remember though. Now this looks like... Oh, I thought it might be in the house, but it's just out. A nourishing nut. That, I believe, is a permanent stat boost. Increases maximum HP. Why not? Let's do that. There we go. 260 now. And then we'll just go to the inn to rest up. This is how the inns work. Should be nice and cheap. Yeah, for free. So there we go. Why not? Okay, so let's go buy some gear. First of all, let's sell things at 15, so whatever. But the cup and the odds and ends we can get a decent amount for. Okay, let's see what we can buy now. Let's do it by this way. So we can't use pole arms, so don't worry about that. We can get a light staff, which is better. Quartz rod, which is even better. Oak staff, we don't have the money for that yet, so don't worry about it. So I think we're going to go for the quartz rod as we are on our... And you see the stat increases in... And it's just outright better. So let's do that, and you can equip it straight away. There we go. So I think we could get a road. I think we'll hold fire on that for now. Pointed hat, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, Elm attack up, so it gets our magic increase and defense for both. That's good. That would get our SP up, which could also be very nice. Or we could do the linen robe. What if we can sell our staff for? 30. Not very much. Okay, so let's buy... Yeah, let's buy... I think we'll find a round shield actually. Let's buy the pointed hat and we'll put that on. Just gives some nice increases across the board. There we go. And that'll do for now. So let's go see if we can find Russell. Look, the dungeons look great on him. This little lantern and everything. You gotta look quite carefully at the paths to try and find all these treasures tucked away, because they're not always very obvious. I'll do my best to get all of them. You never know. Here we have our first battle.
Settle this like gentlemen?
So, a little okay. Battle basics 1. Break enemies. Exploit your foe's weakness to turn the tide battle in your favour. So, yeah, I'll just explain this to you, I think. Yes. So, these are our options. As you can see here, attack is just physical attack with our stuff. Some characters can equip 2 weapons and you can cycle through them here. These are our magic abilities we have, fire and ice at the moment. We can use item, defend, or we can run away. Now on the enemy there on the left, you can see the 5 boxes along the bottom, one of them with the staff icon. That means it is weak to physical attacks with the staff. Now the shield number, the blue shield with the number 1 in it on the left, that's how many attacks you need to do with something that is weak against. So I need to do 1 attack with something it's weak against to break it. So let's do that. Now it's broken. There we go, boost mode. Yeah. Okay, so I'll explain this to you. So you can see, if you look in the top right there, under Cyrus's name, there are the 2 glowing dots, and 3 that are not glowing yet. You start with 1 at every battle, and every turn you gain 1 more. Now you can boost your attacks by pressing the R button. So there is 1, and there is 2. You can do it for a maximum of 3 times, so times 4. You can use 3 dots at once, and you can go back down if you want to. And that's how that works. So when you get an enemy broken, they are weaker, you can do a lot more damage. So now would be a good time to boost up. And then we can do a very strong, well, it'll attack 3 times. Pretty good.
What is the logical course of action?
Kill the thing. So in the very top of the screen you can see the turn order. So the enemy attacked first, that's why it's just in the very top left is just a picture of Cyrus, then in the centre of the screen at the top. So the next turn will be Cyrus first, then the enemy. Cyrus' other ability is at the beginning of every battle he is in, he will uncover one of the enemy's weaknesses. So if we see this again, he will uncover another one randomly so we can see their weaknesses, which is quite useful actually. But that is looking a bit icy. Well, I'm going to do a fire attack on it. Also weak to fire. There you go.
An interesting dilemma.
And when you break an enemy, they lose their turn as well, so it's very, very... I thought that might kill it, actually. Okay. So I want to break it, I think. So why don't we just attack it once more? We can break it, then we'll use a supercharged fire attack. So as you see, once you start boosting, you can use your scholar skills or a physical attack. So let's do fire again. For a lot of damage, as you can see.
Not bad.
And that's basically the battle design. A lot more intricacies, and it does get more complicated the further we go, but we'll get to that when we get to it. And so here, pretty standard money, experience, and job points they are. The other thing, every time you get a level up, you get all your HP and SP back, which is really nice. I really like it. With Clamor, I think that cures silence. Chest up there too.
I've done my research.
That looks like a red one. So you see, just there at the beginning, we can now see that this type of enemy is also weak to axes. That's what that symbol means. It should also be weak to this. That's good. Let's see if we can kill it a bit quicker.
Oh, flames!
There we go. So that's going to be the way we deal with those single ones. Just break it and do a good fire attack. Auto attack should do it. Have we got the... No, we don't have that yet. Okay. We'll get to that. Let's go under here. See what we can find. Okay, let's get SP back. I absolutely love the way these things are laid out. So see, he's uncovered another one there that we can. So he's also weak to pole arms.
Logical course of action.
So we'll do the same again. We'll do. We'll break it. Get an extra turn, but they lose their turn. Then we'll boost and use Ice Wind.
Oh, ice! Here's the proof!
There we go. Easy.
You should have studied harder.
And yeah, they give you a bit of sass and stuff, you know. Why not? Oh, this way. Yeah, so it's beautifully designed. A really, just a bit see, really. wind attire. So that is some new equipment. Quite glad I didn't buy that. So I forgot about buying. I forgot we got this. So there we go. Increase our elemental defense and our speed. Spare it.
Can't we settle this like gentlemen?
New enemy. No, weak to wind.
Now,
Can't do any
what
wind
next?
attacks, unfortunately. We could, if we wanted, use one of these, but we don't have a wind one. We just had a add light. So let's just attack it, see if it's weak to it, which it is. But you can see this one has a number 2 in the blue shield, so to do 2 attacks to break. So let's stick with our physical here. We'll break it. It'll lose turn. We'll get another go, then we'll do 4 attacks. Quite strong this one.
What's this?
So now we can't boost, which is rather. So hopefully we can kill it soon.
What's this?
And this will last for 1 more turn. You can see up under Cyrus's name that the status is last certain amount of turns in this game. So now we can boost again.
Course of action.
But we also don't gain our boost things, which is quite annoying. Let's try and kill it anyway. Not yet.
Whoops.
Actually, I wonder if it is. Are you weak to fire? No, but it will.
You should have studied.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's the lighting that really makes this game absolutely beautiful. We've got a herb of light. What does that do, actually? Blindness. Yeah, clamour, silence. Which, if you played any sort of JRPG before, they're pretty standard.
I've done my research on.
Silence means you can't use magical attacks, and blind means your physical attacks are very likely to miss. So I've uncovered the final one there, is sword attacks on the left. So let's kill this as we kill the other one. And here we want ice.
Oh, ice! Pierce them through! Not bad. A passing grade.
Okay. So you can tell kind of well when a boss fight is you can even see him up there, so we're going to be fighting a boss there. So good idea, you can try and work it so just get a level up just before you're fully healed, And here we got a merchant, just if you need anything. Or yeah, just healing items really. I think we should be okay there. Let's go over this way first though and pick up this chest. Maybe we'll get one more fight and get a level up. And a light soul stone, okay.
Can't we settle this like gentlemen? What is the logical course of action?
This is the logical course of action, Cyrus. Then just break it. Then use the element it's weak against.
Oh,
boost.
ice! Pierce them through! Not
And
bad.
that should get us a level up, I think.
Passing.
Yes, it does. Okay, but I also want to do. I might not be able to do it yet. There's another thing we can do, but we'll just take him on. See if we can beat him. Hand over Russell.
What?
Professor Albright. Are you all out of barging into your peers' offices while they're working?
Excuse me.
My apologies. I would have knocked, but I didn't see a door.
A moment of your time.
Apropos nothing, mayhap you've heard that a certain tome was stolen from the archives. I haven't the faintest clue what you're talking about.
Come now.
Playing dumb is just going to drag this out of both of us. So let's cut straight to the heart of the matter. You're a thief, and I can prove it. Pah! But what the hell's you can?
The truth is...
Unfortunately for you, at precisely the moment you were trying to sneak back with the key, your friend the guardsman was just waking up from his slumber.
Huh?
Impossible. He was asleep. I'm positively... Ah. Gotcha.
Oh,
Keeping up on our friend's somnolence, are we, old chum? It was a slip of the tongue. I tell you, I know nothing about this goddamn book.
is that so?
Figured you'd say as much. Then perhaps you'd care to accompany me to the academy to prove your innocence, of course. Damn it all to hell. It was the perfect plan. If not for your bloody meddling, I could have had it all. Alright, let's do this. Boss time.
I don't think this one will listen to reason. Now, what next?
Okay, so we haven't got we have got we've got a Thunder Soul Stone, haven't we? So that could be useful. Okay, so why don't we start with they look a bit icy, don't they? We'll try a bit of fire. Okay, so that yellow symbol is lightning, but we don't have a lightning spell yet, so we can't do anything there. So I think we want to, excuse me, we want to take out those
What is the
what are they called? Water wisps. Let's take those out first, shall we? So let's do another fire ball. Luckily, it's quite nice. All Cyrus's magical spells attack all enemies, which is nice. So let's break these things.
Flames, rage, wrong.
Okay. Okay, we're doing alright on HP. So now let's do a fully boosted fire spell and see if we can kill them. Still hanging in there. Okay. Still okay, we're doing alright.
What next?
So let's keep going with the fire. There we go. Well, we got him. Okay.
Now, what next?
So he's not weak to fire. Let's try ice. There we go. Okay. Now we're in business. Uh-oh. So that looks bad, right? So here we want to defend.
I think not.
There we go. Just nullify that powerful attack. That would have done a bit more otherwise, I think.
What next?
So let's keep chipping away just with our physical attacks until we break him. Then we'll use our fire attacks. So you see we've got 4 now. So I could break him by using 1. And then the next turn I can still use, because we attack twice, and the next turn I can use it fully charged up. Ice attack. Which is quite a good way to do damage, I think. So we'll probably do that again. We're still okay on HP. If we get below 100, I might use a healing item. Let's try and break him again. By the time we break him, we should have a full boost again. Yeah, let's go 1 more. And we're ready to break him, and yeah, now I'm gonna... Let's defend that first.
Not. What next?
Crap. I should have used an item there. See, I didn't look at the term window
Think not.
when I should have. Okay, not too bad. So now we'll, well, could break him, then heal up. No, let's heal up. No, let's go for it. So let's just attack. Well, I might as well use 1. And then we'll do a fully charged ice wind.
Oh, ice. Here's some.
Okay, we got it.
You should have studied harder.
Nice bit of money, nice bit of experience, and some good job points. Here we go. So this is how you learn new skills. But I'll go through that in a second. We got some refreshing jam and an ice soul stone. So ice soul stone, battle item. Refreshing jam is a curative for all party members, I believe. I swear, I never meant to. I just needed the money.
Just so.
That tome would fetch a small fortune, this is true. And yet, did you not for a moment consider the consequences?
say it is not so.
In stealing that tome, you would steal from our students something more valuable than all the realm's riches. A grave crime, no matter who would perpetrate it, but all the more unforgivable when committed by one who calls himself a scholar. I'm not sure that's really true though, Cyrus. I mean, for all the students, I thought pretty much no one was allowed in there. Because of
Thank you.
mean headmaster. Well, I'll be. You actually did crack the case of the stolen book.
Indeed.
That I did, and yet I fear this may not be the only volume our friend has purloined. Russell has already confessed to the full extent of his crimes and revealed the names of his business associates. We need only track down the books and purchase them back. I'll speak to the guards and see that we redouble security on the archives. What's this? It says there's another book still missing. Did that scoundrel of a scholar steal this one as well?
Actually,
From the far reaches of hell. No, I can assure you that he did not. It's been missing for some 15 years now. Russell's aggressive borrowing only extends some 2 years back.
I see.
This volume was lost just before that.
yes.
Right as always, Professor. Pray tell me more about From the Far Reaches of Hell. According to our records, it would seem to be a compendium of ancient rites and long-lost magics.
Actually,
If I am not mistaken, it was the single oldest volume housed within our archives. Needless to say, it was a tremendous loss.
Most intriguing.
Yet another mystery, I believe. Professor Albright, the headmaster, would speak at once.
Is Autumnus?
Again? What could it be this time? Perhaps he plans to commend you for your role in apprehending the library thief. I have no interest in accolades, but if he insists... Okay, so let's head straight on over there. I'll explain the battle points probably next time. So let's just... Can we do anything? No. See, it's quite nice as well, so it puts a tick through it when you've scrutinised someone, so you can tell who you've spoken to and who you haven't. It's a very good idea. Good game. Yeah, still no one to speak to here. Not to my knowledge, anyway.
I've brought Professor Albright, as asked, sir.
Good. Enter. Thank you, Lucia.
Yes, Headmaster. What can I do for you? Something tells me he's not about to offer a commendation.
Professor Albright, a most troubling report has reached my ears.
A report, sir?
An anonymous source claims that you have abused your prestigious position to enter into an illicit relationship with Her Highness the Princess.
Oh. And you believed this report, sir?
If it is untrue, then say so.
Why, it is unfounded, unsubstantiated, balderdash of the highest order!
I would like to take your words at face value, Professor, but I fear the situation is not so simple. A rumor regarding the royal family, even an unsubstantiated one such as this, is sure to spread quickly. If we do not take swift action, Princess Mary's good name could be forever sullied. That is something that simply cannot be allowed to happen. Surely you understand.
And so what do you intend to do with me, sir?
It is not an easy decision to make. Dismissing you outright would be tantamount to an admission of guilt.
If I may be so bold, Headmaster, what about a sabbatical? Professor Albright is put on extended leave, while official accounts state that he's doing fieldwork in a distant land.
What say you, Cyrus? This way, both the Academy's reputation and your own will remain intact.
My reputation?
Do we have a problem, Professor?
Not at all, Headmaster. On the contrary, this might prove the perfect opportunity.
Opportunity? For what?
As a matter of fact, there is a matter which has piqued my interest of late. I was just wondering when I might find the time to do a bit of research in the field. I think I will set forth on a journey. In search of an ancient tome that disappeared 15 years ago. Besides, if I am not permitted to share what I have learned with my peers and the public, little point in continuing my research here.
Is that so? Do tell, Professor. What is it that you intend to investigate?
As regards a certain tome. Now, if you will forgive me, I must begin packing for my journey. Good day to you, Headmaster.
And enigma as ever, that one.
Yeah, because those two aren't suspicious at all, with their red eyes and stuff.
Professor!
Oh, hey, Therese.
Oh, Therese, what is it?
I heard that you were leaving the academy.
Then you heard true.
Professor, I'm so sorry.
I see. So you were the source of the rumor.
You knew?
Not until just this moment, when you apologized. And yet, I cannot fathom your motive. Why would you tell such a terrible lie?
You're always helping Her Highness, answering her every question. I just wanted you to pay more attention to me.
And that's why you went to the headmaster.
Yes, but I just wanted to get you in a little trouble. I didn't think they would. I am so sorry, Professor.
Worry not, my dear. It just so happens that I was looking for a good excuse to go on a journey.
You were?
For some time now, I've wanted to travel the realm and see what can be learned beyond these halls. I dare say the timing couldn't have been better. You see, there's a certain matter I simply can't wait to investigate. So fret not, my girl. If anything, you've done me a favor. Besides, I am not entirely without fault in the matter. Indeed, I have not been as attentive to you as I should. Had I realized your true intention sooner, I would not be in this position.
Oh, sorry.
Professor, whatever do you...
If only I had realized how devoted you were to your studies, my dear girl.
I studies.
Cyrus?
I have always striven to treat all my students equally. And yet, Her Highness is always asked questions, and I'm all too eager to answer them. In doing so, I may have given the impression that I favored her above you and the others. This was not my intention, but I am at fault all the same. If only I had seen you for the ardent and devoted young scholar that you are!
Professor... Perhaps you're not quite as sharp as I thought you were.
Yes?
Never mind.
Oh, Cyrus. What are we
In
gonna
that
do with
case,
you?
I should be off. Pray do not shirk your studies, my girl.
Yes, Professor. Will I ever see you again?
Do not see why not, provided we live.
Okay, so that was introduction to Cyrus's story. Gonna take a bit of a break here. Next time we'll see what's new in town. See if there's any new these or any side quests we can pick up. Probably do a bit of shopping, and then we'll move on to our next destination. Don't know why I said that funny, but there we go. So until next time, take it easy.